right here in Nairobi and in Kenya at large, we sometimes experience weather patterns that are so different from what they were 20 or 30 years ago. And I'm sure many of you who are farmers know that very well. The signs are all around us. Hotter months, longer periods of prolonged droughts, repeated food insecurity, and so on. Just last year, East Africa faced its worst drought in recent history. There is real proof all around us that climate change is real. There is need to be concerted action to combat climate change.
There is a strong willingness to really work hand in hand with the private sector. And this is also one of the rationale why the two lead, Eric Solheim, the Executive Director of UN Environment, who is actually meeting with our Deputy Executive Director, newly appointed, with Mr. Bob Colimo to discuss how to move at another dimension this Memorandum of Understanding. So to look at what mitigating effect can both institutions do to mitigate our impact to climate and therefore also contribute to the Paris Agreement.
I heard a speech by Antonio Guterres, UN Secretary General, on Monday, and he was talking about climate change moving faster than we are. And if we do not change our habits, if we do not change our course by 2020, the implications on our livelihood as we know it, the implications on our environment as we know it, will be a great threat to us. So it was very critical for us to at least know that information, hear what Dr. Sieye was taking us through in terms of the implications of our habits on our environment and what we can do as individuals, as a collective, to ensure that our environment is safe.
The ministry recognizes the impacts climate change poses in the country and has taken several initiatives to address the emerging challenges due to the climate change. I'm happy to report that the ministry, in collaboration with stakeholders, has already commenced implementation of the Climate Change Act of 2016, which offers sustainable solutions to the impacts of climate change.
In order to set ourselves into action and to make sure that we can start today, we need to indeed look at something that we'll achieve tomorrow. Very important is to make sure that we set the goal properly.
I think our perspectives may be slightly unique, but I think we found that we can be more sustainable if you look at how we can shift our entire business operations rather than funding 4 or 5 or 6 groups as we go along. So sustainability is key wherever you are. Second is the power of lobbying and advocacy, which I think together we can do very well given the richness of the issues we've discussed. The third is really focusing on research and best practices here. Let's not continue with or adopt our status quo as is.